Yo guys, what is up? Welcome to the first episode of Buffalo Pod. I am your host Ryan. You can find me on Twitter at Buffalo News, BFLO News. You can find me on Instagram at Buffalo Mafia News. First of all, I want to get the injury report today. John Brown will be practicing and Cody Ford and Josh Norman will not. I don't have any other minor injuries I could tell you about, but those are the major ones. Let's get into my four players of the game from the Jets game. I'm going to have to go offense. I'm going to say Cole Beasley. Dude played his lights out. Last couple weeks, he's been like... Dude seems like he's the only one that actually wants to be playing. Dude is having career year. He could have a very big contract coming up. I'm going to say that. Him and John Brown, we got them at good prices. He could have a very big contract coming up. Two very big contributors on the team. I would not be surprised if we might not be able to afford one of them, especially if we sign a Milano. We have to do that too. Next subject is going to be the defensive player of the week. For me personally, my defensive game ball, it's going to go to Dane Jackson. This dude, I know you guys are probably mad. Jerry Hughes, why are you not giving it to him? Dane Jackson, he just had a momentum shift. That interception was huge for us. If we don't get that, the game might have turned out different. We got momentum going in the second half, which is, I think, how our defense played lights out second half. Granted, it was against the Jets. I want to see this guy go up against better, mediocre receivers like Zay Jones is, more CB2s. I want wide receiver 2s. I could see this guy honestly replacing Josh Norman or Levi Wallace. If this dude plays like this for the rest of the year, I don't think they're going to re-sign Josh Norman for the price that Norman is asking. Norman's been embarrassing this year. I mean, he's bust or boom, He blew the Titans game, embarrassed us in front of national TV. Dane Jackson, he had a couple good pass breakups. The first drive, he saved a possible touchdown from Denzel Mims. Darnold threw it to me, broke it up, third down, huge play. For my special teams player of the week, I'm going to have to go Tyler Bass. I get it. The dude didn't play lights out, but he did do enough for us to win. You guys got to remember he's a rookie, all right? I'm pissed off going through Twitter. I'll touch on that later. But so many people are just being impatient with him. I will definitely touch on that later. Made 6 out of 8 kicks, very good for a rookie. I don't think the turf is best at MetLife. I haven't watched all the holds on the kicks. So, maybe Horkez, he's been a bad holder this year. So, you never know. But Tyler Bass definitely gets the special teams game ball. Very good for him and his development that he gets those amount of kicks in that game. He's actually done really good at primetime games too. Obviously, there's no fans, so we can't really tell yet. But he did good in that Titans game with the bad hold and the 52-yarder. Bad weather, but he made 48. This dude can show he can make these long kicks. He made the 53 against the Jets. He can make the long kicks, guys. Just give him a year or two to develop. Dude has so much potential. I want to give some honorable mentions to Andre Roberts. Dude had a momentum shifting punt return in the second half. Set us up really good for a field goal, I'm pretty sure. And AJ Epinesa. You guys will continue listening to these podcasts, then I love AJ Epinesa. I think the dude could be a franchise end. He has the potential to be. More of like a Jerry Hughes type guy. Not the way Jerry Hughes is playing. But I think the guy could be good if we let him develop. A lot of people are being impatient with him. He lost a lot of weight over the offseason. I don't know if you guys can tell, but the dude, he looks way bigger in college than he does now. I don't know why. He could be more of a speed rusher, but as long as he's getting the pressure, it doesn't really matter. We already have our beef at Oliver. He also had a very good game. I gotta mention him too. He was so close to getting a sack, it wasn't even funny. Dude just brings pressure. Granted, this game is against the Jets. Ed Oliver is more of a pass rushing defensive tackle, But we need that, and I think Quentin Jefferson had a nice game. I don't want to completely dismention him. Tremaine Edmonds had a rebound game, very good. All right, now I want to talk about Jerry Hughes. I get it. He had a good game. He's just been awful these last couple seasons. I've done. I hate to say it, but we were playing the Jets offensive line. At least he stepped up. I think he called an emergency meeting with the D line guys on Monday, which is good. Good leadership. I don't want to until he can do this consistently. I'm not gonna give him the credit for it. The 2 sacks. Good for him. He's a leader. All that. I'm not the biggest Jerry Hughes fan. If he can consistently do this throughout the season, I will like him more. But, defense player of the week, good for him. Until he can do it consistently, I'm not on the Jerry Hughes train. Tremaine Edmonds, let's talk about Tremaine Edmonds. He had a very good week. Obviously, he dropped those 2 plays. He's got to catch those in bigger games. But I think he looked a lot better with Milano by his side sometimes. Very good to see. Edmonds obviously has been dealing with injury or something, I don't know. He has not been playing himself recently, and it's kind of hard to see a player like him taking a recession in a year like this. Some more good news coming out from the Bills facility. John Feliciano has been activated from IR, and I'd assume he could have played versus the Jets, but, we're playing the Jets. You got to be kind of smart with them. They're probably just saving him for the Patriots game because it's obviously bigger. I will be very interested to see if we will light up the running game with him back. I think he could really prove his value. Obviously, it's a contract year for him. I think we will resign him. People think very highly of him. He's a very good locker room guy. If comes back, plays. I pray to God and everything holy that he comes back, plays amazing, so we don't have to stand another few weeks of Brian Winters. Oh boy. Brian Winters, what are you doing, bud? Cody Ford, he is not. I don't think he'll be back this week. Levi Wallace is back at practice, but I don't think we've designated him from IR, so he might not be able to. Or we might, I don't know. He might be returning this week, probably not. Tyrell Dodson still week to week. Injuries are still being annoying. Diggs, I don't know what happened with his injury, but he is back. And better than ever, I'd assume. Allen, left shoulder. Now we're going to skip the next week and go to the Patriots game. My prediction for this game is 24-21. We're going to pull out the win. I think we could see a very Redskins-like game. Allen isn't going to hit 300 yards. He's not even going to throw it a lot. Singletary and Moss are going to have a field day. Their run defense has been okay. I think we can run all over them. As Feliciano, as long as our O-line is played like it does last year, we should have no problem with this win. If our run game isn't clicking, then we'll just gotta air raid Allen and be completely fine. The Patriots have also dealt with a lot of obs out on their defense, including like Patrick Chung, Dante Hightower, I think. So a lot of big losses. I think their O-line is dinged up too. Game plan for the defense, blitz the heck out of them. We have some good man-to-man corners to Trey White and Dean Jackson. Hopefully he'll be playing as well. Just blitz the heck out of him. Cam Newton under pressure is not pretty. Trust me. Look at the Super Bowl. I want to see more of AJ Epinesa as well. I think he could be. He was on special teams too. I saw him. He was pretty close to blocking a couple kicks. Dane Jackson, of course. I want to see more of him against Patriots receiver 2, which I think is Philip Dorsett. And one thing to be very, very concerned about is Julian Edelman versus Taron Johnson. Taron got lit up last year against Julian Edelman. He's been awful this year. He had the one good play, I will admit, against the throw-off Cole Beasley against the Jets. Barrios. But, he has had a very, not very good year. I would be kind of shocked if he was back with our team long-term next year and gets re-signed. It will be very interesting to see how Taron does. We might have to put Trey White on Edelman. Or maybe even Dane Jackson, honestly. Put him in the slot with Edelman. That'd be very interesting to see. But I really want Josh Allen going into this game pissed off about the game last year at home. And the game away last year, too. We could have won the division. I want him to be pissed off, really hyped for this game. If we are going to throw it a lot, then I think Allen's going to ball out. Obviously, Diggs versus Gilmore. That's going to be very interesting. John Brown, it looks like he will be playing. I don't know how the injury report's going to look the next 2 to 3 days, but I think he was limited yesterday in like a walkthrough. Very good. If John Brown's back, that's going to be huge. We got to definitely target Cole Beasley if we aren't going to be running as well. Dude's been playing lights out the last couple weeks. Deserves a contract extension. Let's talk about the D-line. Trent Murphy. I don't know why he's on our team. I don't know. That's all I got to say about him. Harrison Phillips. I'm going to root for the guy. Obviously, you guys got to remember, he's had 2 surgeries on both of his legs this offseason and his knees, so he's definitely not going to be 100% until next year at least. I don't think he's like mildly offended that he's not playing. He's obviously hurt. They're probably trying to give him some game reps. I don't know why they didn't play him versus the Jets, but maybe they're trying to get Zimmer some opportunities. So maybe him and Zimmer will go in and out when it comes to being inactive and stuff. Now let's talk about something that really got me fumed on Sunday. So Tyler Bass obviously goes out there. It's 3-0 Jets. He misses the kick. I go on Twitter. The first thing I see, Tyler Ass. Everybody just roasting the heck out of this dude, and you don't know how mad I was. You guys got to realize this dude's a rookie kicker. You have to be patient as a fan. It just exposed the people who aren't true fans of this team. Nobody's being patient with him. I saw cut Bass, re-sign Hauschka. Listen here, Hauschka literally missed 2 20-yarders on the Jaguars. The dude wouldn't even attempted the 45-yard kick. Hauschka's burned, all right? Ever since that Jets game, which I was at, him and Henry Anderson messed up Hauschka's career. It's sad. Hauschka's old, too. You guys don't know how much potential Tyler Bass has as a kicker. The dude can literally kick it 65 yards with the wind. As long... You guys aren't even giving him full offseason with OTAs, all that stuff to progress. If you're one of those fans, shame on you for not letting Tyler Bass progress. You guys got to be patient with him and all the other rookies we have. Ed Oliver slander I saw last week. I even got more mad about that. You got to realize the Chiefs have one of the best O-lines. Again, Tyler Bass, he's been very good for us as a rookie. I know he's missed kicks, but thankfully he rebounds. He's shown that he can rebound from missed kicks. For people who are saying, cut Tyler Bass, all that bullcrap, just stop, reevaluate yourself, and, be an actual fan and try to have faith in some of your rookies, especially kickers. Now that I got that off my chest, guys, I really want to thank you guys for listening to this first podcast of Buffalo Pod. Again, I'm Ryan, your host. You can find me on Twitter at Buffalo News, BFLO News, and Instagram, BFLO Mafia News. You can also find me on YouTube sometimes on the Buffalo Fanatics. I usually chime in there, Believers Talk, hashtag sports, all that stuff. I'm usually in the comments or in the live shows. If you guys have any questions that you would like me to talk about next episode, please, DM me on Twitter, Instagram, or leave a comment on this video. Comment's probably the best thing you can do if you want to, let your voice be heard. These shows are going to be airing on Mondays. Have a good one. Goodbye.